Good evening and welcome here inside Odell Arena on the campus of Taylor University for tonight's men's basketball matchup between the Phantoms of East-West University and the Taylor University Trojans. Taylor coming off of their best offensive performance of the year last Friday when they scored a season-high 111 points. They hit a season-high 18 three-pointers, including making 11 of their first 22 tries from deep, including 9 in a row in the first half. On their way to their 6th win of the season, the Trojans were led in scoring by 27 points in 20 minutes by the junior Mason Degenkolb. Another handful of guys were in double figures as well. And Taylor looked to move to 7-8 tonight against the Phantoms of East-West, who come in with a 2-22 overall record. And they will try to get on the right side of things tonight, will the Phantoms. We'll take a break here on the Marion General Hospital pregame show. When we come back, we will hear from the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews. This is Taylor Men's Basketball here on the Trojans Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
And one. Welcome back to the Marion General Hospital pregame show. Now time to catch up with the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews, before tonight's game against East-West. So let's go back to one game last Friday against Lincoln Christian. Your team has the best offensive game of the entire year. You shoot over 60% from the floor for the entire game. You're over 60% from three. You make 11 of your first 22 threes, including 9 in a row in the first half. And we've talked about how this team is a shot-making team. Well, you made shots in bunches, setting a couple different season highs across the board. How important was Friday's game going forward with the rest of the season?
Yeah, no, that was a fun night for our team. And hey, you're a shot-making team when you do make shots, right? At least that's how you feel at times. But we do believe in this group's ability to shoot it. I thought we took great shots. That really helps that. And that sounds almost sarcastic. I mean, that's the reality. If you can work the shot clock or run the floor with pace and great spacing and put guys in positions where their skill set is at its best, then you're going to shoot it in. And we did it. So I thought it fed our confidence. And guys played very selflessly. I was really impressed by the assist total. And so I thought that game was just big, came at the right time, and we hope we can feed off of that.
Mason Degenkolb led the way with 27 points on 11 of 13 shooting in just 20 minutes. He has struggled with his shot this year, particularly from the outside. He's obviously at the very top of the scouting report. No surprise there when you score 1,000 points in your career in a little over 2 years and some change. How important was Friday's game for him individually?
You know, I try not to put too much into one night or even stretches of time. I think Mason's done a lot of great things for our team. He's at the top of the scouting report. People know he can score in bunches. He's been a great decision maker here for a good stretch of the year. He's really grown his, I don't know if I'd say understanding of the game, but understanding of how we need to play and how this group, is gelling and coming together. And he's helped lead that. I'm very proud of him. It's good to see him play with the balance he played with. We want him to be an aggressive scorer and playmaker. He's doing that. And man, he just played really well. We played off of it, so I'd like to see some more of it.
Coming into tonight's game, you have 3 of the top 15 individual rebounding season highs on the year, with Jason Hubbard leading the way, C.J. Pena behind him, and Jake Hagelin, who's been a stalwart rebounding. What's it mean to have those 3 guys in the top 15 in individual rebounding in the league, and particularly with the 2 of those guys being freshmen?
Yeah, we got to study that more and more. We just want to go get the thing. We want to make it tough on the opponent, force them into contested shots as much as we can, and give them one shot. And you need guys that go and just clean the glass, and that group's done a really good job. I think as a team, our mentality and our togetherness on finishing plays continues to be on the rise, and it's got to be an everyday, all the time thing. I think we'll have a chance for those guys to finish that way in terms of rebounds on the year. What a great stat to chase for our team if we'll defend together and finish plays. So we like what those guys are doing, and that's a big part of why they're here.
How do you try to structure a week like this? No classes, everybody from campus is essentially gone except your team and the women's basketball team, and then those of us that, call this stuff that we do work. Mm-hmm. So how do you try to structure this week so that they aren't just sitting around all day, then I have to get ready for practice? How do you try to structure this type of week?
Yeah, that's hard. We talk about that as a staff this time of year, every year, because for most of us, we thrive under structure. We may not like it, but the discipline and the structure helps us to perform better. So we got the guys together a lot. I think it's a tremendous thing to have them together under one roof and just to be a group together. And these guys like each other. It just helps grow that bond. I do think it's important to get these guys like each other, and it shows up on the floor. So we do a lot of different things as a team. We're in the gym a lot, but then we spend time together off the floor, and we'll do some fun stuff with them this week and just enjoy, as you just mentioned, a chance. We got a real tough assignment this week. We got to play ball and eat food together and hang out together and be a team. That's pretty special.
Last thing is we talk with the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews. Tell us a little bit about East-West tonight. The Phantoms come in with a 2-22 overall record, but they've got a couple good guys up front that can really go off. They have a guy that went for 27 and 17 in their last game out.
It's college basketball, and we're not at a place where we can overlook anybody. So we want to continue to grow our brand. We really emphasized that last Friday with Lincoln Christian. We want to play the game a certain way, no matter who we're playing. It's a mark of maturity, and it's a sign of a team that's on the right path moving forward. So we want to play with maturity and with discipline, take great shots, and compete like crazy tonight for 40 minutes. East-West, they're dangerous. They can get out and go on you. They play downhill, and they got a couple guys that can really test you. So we got to play Taylor basketball.
Josh, thanks for the time, and good luck against the Phantoms tonight.
Yeah, my pleasure as always. Thanks, Rick.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
that's what's really going to evoke the memory.
Number 1, Torrance Thomas. At guard, a 5'8" freshman. Number 2, Caleb Thomas. At forward, a 6'4" senior. Number 4, Carl Moore. At guard, a 6'7" senior. Number 25, Isaiah Grace. And at guard, a 6'4" freshman. Number 30, Jordan Robinson Scott. The Phantom is coached by Tommy Posley. And now fans, on your feet for the starting lineup for your Taylor Trojans. At guard, a 5'10" junior from Hampton, Ohio, number 13, Ryan Robinson. At guard, a 6'1" junior from Tipton, Indiana, number 15, Mason David. At forward, a 6'5" freshman from Miamisburg, Ohio, number 24, Jason Hubbard. At forward, a 6'4" sophomore from Florence, Indiana, number 31, James McLeod. And at forward, a 6'7" senior from Wheaton, Illinois, number 25, James Haberman. The Trojans are coached by Josh Andrews, assisted by Quinn McDowell and Kyra Stidham.
So Taylor going with their normal starting five that they have the entire year of Ryan Robinson, Mason Degenkolb, the guards. The front court composes of Jason Hubbard, Jake Hegeland, and James McLeod. Torrance Thomas, Caleb Thomas, Carl Moore, Isaiah Grace, and Jordan Robinson Scott. Robinson Scott has been the starter for the last now 4 games in a row for East West. They are without normal starters Alan Morris and Marlick Williams tonight. Isaiah Grace, their leading scorer and leading rebounder, wins the tip, and East West will have the opening possession. They go from right to left in blue, with that white and yellow logo on the front and the yellow numbers on the front and back. Taylor defends in all white. Torrance Thomas left side up top to Caleb Thomas, guarded by Robinson, the lefty K. Thomas. His jump shot short and snagged out of the air by James McLeod. He'll give off to Mason Degenkolb, and Taylor operates from left to right on the opening possession for them in the contest. A little 2-3 zone here up top with the Thomases. Up top for East West. Robinson, right side arc, left hand dribble, into the paint to Degenkolb, inside that zone, into the air, outside to Hubbard, fakes a 3, gets inside the arc with 8 to shoot. Robinson not afraid to fire from deep, and he swishes it from the high right side. A triple for Ryan Robinson after going 3 of 5 in last week's win over Lincoln Christian. And Taylor gets on the board first. They're ahead 3-0. Here comes Isaiah Grace. Little left-hand shot off the glass, no. Tapped around and rebounded down low by Robinson Scott. Outside for a 3-ball. That one off the right side of the rim by Torrance Thomas. East-West just a 29% three-point shooting team, and they missed their first try tonight. Here goes Hubbard slashing to the goal, and he'll finish with a left-hand layup. There's Hubbard attacking from the high left side, and Taylor up 5-0 to start. K. Thomas to T. Thomas on the high right side. They'll go inside to their leading scorer, Isaiah Grace, and he jumped with it right as he gathered the ball in. He's whistled for the travel. And there's the first turnover against East-West tonight. They come in 2-22 overall, do the Phantoms. They're just 1-16 on the road. Taylor 4-3 here at home. And they've scored on their first 2 times down the floor. They lead 5-0. Hubbard, a slashing layup to the corner. Robinson, who got the scoring going for Taylor. Into the zone, the bounce pass goes to Degenkolb. Pivots, dribbles, into the corner. The pass intended for Hubbard was tapped away by the 6'7" Isaiah Grace. The big man goes out and runs. He'll deal to the near side, and K. Thomas, who goes right into Ryan Robinson, and they get Ryan for the block as he looked to have been leaning in to the attack from Caleb Thomas. First on Robinson, the first one against the Trojans. And the foul numbers will be something to keep your eye on tonight. East-West comes in averaging 23 fouls per game as a team. Their opponents take 32 free throws a night. Taylor, meanwhile, just 17 fouls per contest for the entire squad. T. Thomas guarded by Hubbard in the man-to-man to the near side to Carl Moore. Weight mismatch against the smaller Degenkolb will bounce to the corner to where Torrance Thomas was cutting from, and that ball will bounce out of bounds and go back to Taylor on the second turnover this evening here by East-West. Just over 2 minutes into this opening half, Taylor with the ball and a 5-point lead. They're up 5-0. A three by Robinson and a driving layup by Hubbard, who gives to Robinson here. Left wing 3, and Ryan Robinson 2 of 2 from deep. He hit that one in front of the East-West bench, and it's an 8-0 Taylor start. 2.5 into the opening half. Timeout on the floor for East-West. It will be how long of a timeout? It'll be a 30-second timeout. We'll pause momentarily. Taylor up 8-0. Little almost 2.5 minutes into the opening half here against East-West tonight on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits.
Thirty-second timeout there for East-West. They have yet to score from the floor, and they trail 8-0. 2 threes by Ryan Robinson and the layup from Jason Hubbard. No changes to either 5 on the floor. Dribbling from the high right side is Torrance Thomas. Here's Isaiah Grace. The lefty's 3 will miss short off the near side rim. Grace now just 3 of 11 from three-point range, and it remains an 8-0 Taylor advantage. So Grace has missed the 3. Torrance Thomas, 2 of their worst three-point shooters. Grace at 30% and T. Thomas at 15% coming in. Degenkolb drives and he'll draw the reach-in foul as Torrance Thomas was right there on his hip. First one on Thomas, the first one against the visitors of East-West. 17:15 to go in half one. Taylor with the ball, and they lead 8-0. They go from left to right and white. Degenkolb high left side, spins and faces the basket. Won't take the right side screen. Hegeland screen, he'll get him to the rim, and he'll finish right at the rim by Mason Degenkolb. Taylor has missed just one shot to start. They lead 10-0. 3 minutes into half one. Moore trying to back down the smaller Degenkolb. Turnaround, fadeaway, jump shot, swished from 15 feet away. Good-looking shot from Carl Moore, who had 27 points in the loss to Illinois Central College last Saturday for East-West. That ends the 10-0 start for the Trojans, and they lead by 8. Hubbard with a 2 tonight, trying to add a 3 to it, and he does, rattling it in from the high left side. Hubbard with 5 early points for the Trojans. Jason comes in shooting just 27% from three-point range, and Taylor goes back in front by 10. Grace, between the legs dribble, trying to go up and under, left-hand short shot. He'll roll it in from the left block over Hegeland. First basket for the leading scorer for the East-West Phantoms, and that trims the Taylor lead back down to 8. Hegeland, a high pass, hauls it in. Back to the open. Robinson, 2 of 2 from 3, and that will be now 2 of 3 as that one stances off the near side rim. First miss from deep by the Trojans tonight. East-West quickly up the floor. Torrance Thomas around. Degenkolb goes up. Slapping the glass was Hubbard, and baiting the bounce to go was Torrance Thomas on a layup. Back to a 6-point deficit goes East-West. They're down 13-6. Just over 4 minutes into the opening half. Degenkolb, right side wing, will bounce to the near side corner inside the arc to Hegeland. Left-hand crab dribble goes up and under on Grace. Shot was blocked, but they'll get Grace for the foul. Grace not happy with it. That's his first. He comes in the leader in fouls for the East-West Phantoms, averaging just below 4 fouls per game. That brings us to our first media timeout. 15:42 to go in the opening half. It's Taylor 13 and East-West 6 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965, when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Taylor with a 7-point lead. And 2 free throws from Hegeland upcoming. The first one he leaves short off the front rim. Jake, a 73% free throw shooter this year. He makes the second for his first point of the night. And Taylor up 14-6. They've led by as many as 10 here tonight. We've got 4.5 minutes gone in the first half. Grace trying to wild with the dribble, then Robinson comes in and snatches it away. 2-on-1. Degenkolb accelerating right to the rim. He'll flip it in with the right hand. Second bucket for Mason Degenkolb, and Taylor goes back in front by that game-high tying 10. They're up 16-6. Not even 5 minutes into the first half. Torrance Thomas will bounce it down low. Grace cut off on the baseline by Hegel. A little dream shake and a little left-hand set shot by East-West leading scorer Isaiah Grace. 16-8 the Taylor advantage as Grace has got 4 of the first 8 for East-West. The Phantoms in navy blue, Taylor in the home white. Robinson around a Hagelin screen. He'll bounce it back to the big man, right block. Spaced with Grace, left-hand dribble, got into the paint, spins to the baseline, over that left shoulder, right to the rim, and there's nothing Isaiah Grace could do to prevent Hagelin from his first bucket. Taylor reties their largest lead of the night at 10, 18-8. Still early on here in the opening half. Nyjah Chandler in for East-West. The entry pass to Moore is deflected away. 3 subs come in for the Trojans, exiting Ryan Robinson, Jake Hageland, and James McLeod. Entering for the first time tonight, C.J. Pena, Evan Crow, and Vincent Miranda. Torrance Thomas will deal it in. Caleb Thomas out there, Carl Moore. Robinson Scott, the only one not out there. Chandler back in there. And then Thomas travels with it as he tried to attack from the right side high. 4th turnover against the visitors tonight. And Taylor will get the ball back. Leading by a game-high tying 10, 18-8. Here's C.J. Pena, had a career-high 11 last right in. Miranda blows right in, ball knocked out of his hands. And it'll go off the knee of Miranda and out of bounds. A crafty little tap away there by number 2, Caleb Thomas, with the right hand. Tonight is Eastbrook Youth Basketball Night, so a lot of the young fellas down on the front row. Those are those cheers you've been hearing. Driving Chandler on Hubbard, a wild scoop, snatched out of the air on the air ball by C.J. Pena for his first rebound. Miranda up to Crow, fakes the 3 drives on K. Thomas, up top to Miranda, and the ball spun around the arc and stops with Hubbard. Right side screen from his freshman roommate C.J. Pena. Hubbard backs out with the right hand, now to the high right side, and Miranda. Near sideline, Crow with Moore defending, blows right around him as Crow, and he'll put it in with a left-hand layup as he blew the doors off of Carl Moore going to the baseline right. First field goal for Crow, now Miranda with the steal. Up the floor to Hubbard, who is loose for a dunk. But then Miranda will draw the block on Caleb Thomas. First on Caleb Thomas, the 3rd one against East-West. Rodney Gaston in for the Phantoms. And he replaces K. Thomas. Degenkolb, right side circle. Pena comes out, no need for the screen as Degenkolb goes right to the rim, and he'll finish with another right-hand finger roll. 6 early points for Degenkolb. He and Robinson have combined to outscore East-West by themselves, and Taylor up 22-8. And Hubbard will be called for the foul, baseline left, against the attacking Nyjah Chandler. Taylor shooting 8 of 9 from the floor. Now make it 9 of 10, excuse me. Catches 2-3 more left side, missed it, but he was fouled on the shot by Mason Degenkolb. The first one against Mason, but that's going to be a 3-shot trip to the line for Carl Moore. 6'4 senior out of Chicago Heights, Illinois. He has the most 3-point tries on the season coming in for East-West at 139. To the free throw line he goes, where he is 63%, and he'll swish the first one. 22-9, the Taylor advantage. They jumped out to a 10-0 lead. Second one from Moore, and the righty will miss that one long. Both Crow and Isaiah Grace went after it. And since it's a 3-shot trip, one more coming for Carl Moore. 13-17 remaining in the opening stanza. Taylor leading 22-9 with one more free throw coming from Carl Moore. Righty gets up on those tippy toes, and that one halfway down and out. Another rebound for Vince. First rebound, I should say, for Vincent Miranda. He comes in with plenty of rebounds on the season. Had 7 rebounds the last game. Now he turns it over here, stolen by the big man, Grace. Left-hand dribble. Miranda cuts in, got it back, laying it in, but missing it was Grace. And a bad turnover there by the Trojans. Foul on Vincent Miranda. That's Miranda's first. And the third one, make it the 4th one against the home team. Taylor with their third turnover of the opening half. But they're still 9 of 10 from the field and 3 of 4 from deep. Isaiah Grace, the lefty, the first one from the line is up. He's a 62% free throw shooter, and he's got 5 of the first 10 here for East-West. 2 Trojans return, Hegeland and Robinson, replacing 2 other fellow starters in Hubbard and Degenkolb. We'll reset the lineup after the second Isaiah Grace free throw. 6'7" lefty, has 5 points, and now 6. And the Taylor lead cut in half at 22-11. Pena and Robinson in the backcourt with Gaston and Torrance Thomas defending them. Robinson floats it over the double team to Pena. To the right block, Hegeland draws a triple team and bolts to the corner and Crow. Around the arc, it's spun to Miranda, whose 3 is long, and Hegeland pulls down an weak side rebound for the Trojans. Just the second miss from the field tonight for Taylor. Tracking, attacking baseline left as Miranda got into the air. His pass knocked down by the 6'7" Isaiah Grace, who knocked that pass down with his elbows. So it's Miranda, Pena, Crow, Robinson, and Hegeland, the Trojan 5. Moore, Torrance Thomas, Rodney Gaston, Nijah Chandler, and Isaiah Grace, the 5 out there for East-West. Chandler drives, bouncing outside the arc to Thomas, back inside to Moore. Now back outside to Chandler, their most volume-taking three-point shooter on the year. Moore left side wing with 4 to shoot against Pena. Right-hand set shot off the glass and nothing else. Tapped around, still loose on the floor, and before possession could be nabbed by anybody, a shot clock violation is called. That's turnover number 6 by East-West tonight. And Tommy Posley, the head coach for East-West, has removed the jacket. Almost stolen away by East-West in their full court press. Taylor gets the deflection back, and Robinson will walk it across the center timeline. High middle screen, Hegeland got Robinson down the lane. He'll send it to the arc. Around it goes from Miranda to Crow, who buries a left side high 3. 5 for Evan Crow off the bench after he's filled the stat sheet in the win over Lincoln Christian last week. And Taylor has hit their 4th 3 of the opening half, and they lead by 14, 25-11, 11:30 to go here in the opening half. Spinning, banking, missing will be Chandler. Nabbed off the floor by Robinson. Up the floor it comes, near sideline Miranda. Down low to Hegeland, over Chandler, and the shot might have been knocked away. Rebounded by, after the deflection by Chandler, rebounded by Rodney Gaston. To Torrance Thomas. 3 left side, Grace. Nope. Off the window, knocked away by Miranda, and he gobbles it in. Grace not a good three-point shooter as Miranda weaves through blue shirt defenders. Will whip it down to Crow, whose layup was no good. Then as Crow goes spilling down to the floor. Ev landed hard on that right shoulder. Gets back up. He'll go to the line for 2. Foul on Carl Moore, his first, and that's number 4 against East-West. 2 free throws for Crow, who comes in 6 of 8 on the season, and now 7 of 9. 6 for him. That matches Robinson and Degenkolb's output as Carl Moore exits. And Kenneth King comes in for East-West. The East-West Phantoms against Taylor tonight. And Crow makes both. He's now the leading scorer in the game with 7 off the Taylor bench. And Taylor has a game-high 16-point lead, 27-11. As Miranda taps the pass in the air, Grace can't haul it in, and it goes out of bounds and back to the Trojans. And again, East-West will go into the full court press with Gaston and Chandler in the backcourt. They're ready to trap. Robinson will dart to the middle. Pressure comes from behind, just falling over backwards, slips it over to Crow. Baseline left, Hegeland, back out to Crow, fakes the 3 and drives and pulls up. Pena high left side. Now we'll get into the hands of the point guard, Ryan Robinson of Taylor. Hegeland left side screen, Robinson crossing over, hesitates. Up top to Pena. High left side, Miranda. 7 to shoot, Taylor's got to go quick. Miranda down the lane, guarded by Grace, almost lost the ball. Miranda gets it back. Down low to Hegeland with 2, hook shot too strong, and Grace will clean up the miss for East-West. 10:20 to go in the opening half. Taylor on defense. They lead by 16. They've led the entire way. Grace, a shimmy shake down the left side of the lane, throws one wildly off the glass, and it's rebounded by Pena of Taylor. Grace slow to get back up. Taylor can have a 5-on-4. They push it. Crow to the trailing Robinson. Open all night. Miranda in the corner, and he hits a 3 perfectly. First 3 of the night for Vincent Miranda, his first points, and Taylor increases that game-high lead to 19. They're up 30-11. With 9:50 to go here in the opening stanza. Gaston high left side around the Grace screen. Behind the back dribble, fumbles with it, gets it back. Grace attacks right around the slower Hegeland. His shot was missed high off the glass, and Pena pulls down another weak side rebound, and then he'll get Rodney Gaston for the reach-in. First on Gaston, 5th one against East-West. Degenkolb and McLeod back in for Taylor, replacing Miranda and Hegeland. So far, everyone but 2 players that have checked in for the Trojans have scored. There are McLeod, who's back in, and Pena, who remains out there for TU. Joining the fun for the Trojans, Degenkolb, Robinson, and Crow. So plenty of three-point shooters out there. Actually, all but McLeod are decent three-point shooters. Crow, an excellent three-shooter straight away. That one long through the elevator screen. There's the first miss from deep from Evan tonight. Torrance Thomas, the rebound for East-West, driving in. Down low, no one found Chandler, and he lays it in with a right hand after the pass from Kenneth King. And again, full court press by the Phantoms. Robinson up the left sideline to Crow. Pivots. He was open for an 18-foot jump shot, floats it back up near the timeline, and Robinson hauls it in with a right hand. 9 to go in the first half. Pena up top, defended by Kenneth King. Left side high pass to Robinson, around the right side, Pena screen, going in. Robinson tried to scoop it in, but missed it high off the glass. Kenneth King rebound out to Torrance Thomas near sideline as the Phantoms go from right to left in blue. Over to Caleb Thomas, a shimmy shake, it goes out of bounds, off of Thomas, and back to Taylor. On yet another first half turnover here by East-West, their 7th of the opening stanza. 8:41 and counting here in half number 1. Taylor 11 of 17 from the floor. They made 9 of their first 10 shots, and then Pena has it taken away from him. Thomas to King, power right in against Robinson, throws and misses. And then he banged into Degenkolb. And King slow to get up, or King back to his feet. Degenkolb now slow to get back up, holding his chest. King 6'4", a very powerfully built young man. He went barreling in to Degenkolb after Robinson got him on the foul. That's the second one against the Trojans' leading scorer, Ryan Robinson, and the 5th one against Taylor in the half. King popped right back to his feet. He still is walking a little bit gingerly there to the free throw line, trying to stretch out that left leg. Degenkolb still trying to stretch out that right elbow and right forearm. King, a 62% free throw shooter, will swish in the first shot here. Degenkolb will remain in. Miranda comes in to spell Robinson with the 2 fouls, and Hubbard comes back in to get the place of Crow. Chandler out for East-West. And it looks like Carl Moore is back in there for the Phantoms. King makes both free throws. Those were his first points of the night. And Taylor up by 15, 30-15 with 8.5 to go here in half 1. King making his return after not playing in the last game against Illinois Central College on Saturday. Degenkolb, we'll see how good that arm feels. Going against K. Thomas, double team comes on the baseline, tiptoeing it, flings to the corner in Miranda. Good ball moving up to Hubbard. Left-hand drive, cut off by Moore. No look pass down to McLeod. As Hubbard threw that one and spun around for good measure. We knew he could jump, we knew he could block, we knew he could dunk. I didn't know that Jason could throw passes around his body like that. Impressive. Second foul against Caleb Thomas, the 6th one against East-West. Next one will put Taylor in the penalty. Here's McLeod driving baseline, tried to go up to punch it, and then the ball blocked away as McLeod went in for a one-hand jam. Thomas to the near side and Moore, East-West to the left block, and King trying to overpower McLeod, goes up, and then McLeod will block that shot out of bounds. Good physical play there from James McLeod down low. And that dead ball brings us to our final media timeout. 7:55 to go in the opening half. It's Taylor 30 and East-West 15 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
For those of you watching online, the Eastbrook youth basketball players, those are those guys down low right there at the middle of your screen, or what were at the middle of your screen. that were huddling up. So we got the Eastbrook youth boys basketball team here. We also have some members of some children of Steve Mazingo have made the trip out here. No Steve tonight. We saw the Hall of Famer for the win against Goshen a couple weeks ago. He must be reffing another basketball contest tonight. Quick inbounds, the lefty Caleb Thomas's three is short. From the left side, and there's Pena to rip down another rebound for the Trojans. First miss from the three-point range by Caleb Thomas. So it's Pena, McLeod, Degenkolb, Hubbard, and Miranda, the five out there for TU. Miranda, a crossover right to the rim. He tried to go up and under in the air, and then Kenneth King fouled him hard on the attack. A whirling, spinning ball on a string move by Miranda. And he'll try to get two the hard way from the line. First on Kenneth King. And Vincent will go to the line twice. A 64% free throw shooter. He connects on the first one. He's got 4 off the Taylor bench. Pena exits and Hegeland back in. Taylor shooting at over 60%. East-West at just 31%. Miranda with 4, trying to get 5 with the second freebie. Yep, perfect. Vincent, the 5th different player with at least 5 points for the Trojans, and they have led the entire way. They're up by 17 here, up 32-15, 7:30 remaining before halftime. Caleb Thomas, guarded by Hubbard, crossing back to his right hand around a Grace screen. To Moore, trying to get away from the fronting Degenkolb, and Hegeland smacks Moore's shot away. Snagged out of the air by Degenkolb. To the right side of the floor, handoff to McLeod, bobbled with it, got it back, tried to work it into the paint to Hegeland, and the pass deflected. Outrunning everybody, Torrance Thomas, right-hand layup at the rim, good, as he goes spilling down to the basket to our left. 4 points for Torrance Thomas, and the Taylor lead down to 15 once again. C.J. Pena taken out, had to get some blood removed from his jersey. Miranda into contact, bank shot was too strong, and pulled off the floor. Off the miss is Caleb Thomas. He accelerates quickly to the floor, already to the front court in 4 seconds. He'll find the trailing Torrance Thomas at the top, guarded by McLeod. To King, high right side, now to their leading scorer in Grace. Picks up the dribble, mid-post left, outside to Kenneth King. No-look dish, baseline right in Torrance Thomas. McLeod defending in the man-to-man. Torrance Thomas had it knocked away. He falls on the floor, still loose. Punching it away, diving on the floor is somebody. The ball's still loose before Miranda finally falls on it for Taylor. Shot clock down to 2. A desperation shot will be an air ball, and it'll go back to Taylor as that ball was loose for multiple times on the floor. Taylor couldn't get their hands on it, and then a desperation turnaround was airballed by East-West. They close in on almost 10 first-half turnovers to the Phantoms. That's their 8th. And Taylor from left to right and white has the ball in a 15-point lead. Degenkolb, open space to the right side, cut off, hesitates, goes right at the rim. Bank shot will just dance off the rim. And there's the first miss by Mason Degenkolb tonight. Pass almost intercepted. Kenneth King goes barreling into somebody. And a foul called on the floor against someone wearing white. Foul on James McLeod, that's his first, and number 6 against Taylor. Robinson back in for Taylor to spell McLeod. 6:02 to go before halftime. Isaiah Grace, the leading scorer for East-West, will get it in from the baseline right. The Phantoms shooting on the basket to our left. Gianni Moore in for the first time here for East-West. And he has the ball right now out near the far side hash mark. Robinson will defend. He'll bounce it down to Moore. Weight mismatch against Degenkolb. They'll give it right back to Moore, right block. He'll overpower Degenkolb, but his bank shot was too strong, and Hubbard is there for the rebound for Taylor. Off to Miranda, who will run the point. Hegeland sets the left side screen. Miranda takes. One-hand whip pass was way in the air to land on the baseline. As Miranda looks back, and it might have been looking for a foul by one of our officials. Miranda tells Hegeland, my bad, as if they tried to run the screen and roll to the Trojans. Still a 15-point Taylor lead. They've led the entire way, scoring the first 10 points of the night. Caleb Thomas up top, holding his Gianni Moore. Around a gray screen, ball knocked out of his hands by Degenkolb, and it'll stay here with East-West to the disagreement of the Taylor faithful. 16 to shoot, as Carl Moore will get it in for EWU. Into Moore, and a loose ball foul is called against East-West. It goes against Caleb Thomas, his 3rd on the moving screen. His 3rd, the team's 8th. Caleb Thomas comes in averaging 8 points tonight. He's their best three-point shooter percentage-wise. He'll exit and be replaced by Torrance Thomas. Caleb did have some tape applied to that right wrist, but does not seem to be hurting him too much. Moore guards Robinson in the backcourt. And Ryan will zigzag to the front court. Holds left sideline. Screen and roll with Hagelin. Powers up for a left-hand layup as he got away from Grace, who came to help. 5 for Hagelin. All 6 Trojans that have scored have at least 5 points. And a violation called against Torrance Thomas as he stepped over the baseline trying to inbound the ball. Taylor with a 17-point lead. They'll get the ball back with 5:07 remaining in the first half. Robinson to Hubbard, right back to Robinson, left side of the floor. Hesitates and goes right in. A little flip shot will catch the front rim, but then will just dance off before it's hauled in by Kenneth King of E-Dub. Near side to T. Thomas, accelerating, fumbles it almost out of bounds before Moore saves it on the near sideline. Grace fakes and drives, and he's called for the travel. A good head fake as Hagelin was closing out hard, but then Thomas moved those puppies. 4:52 to go in half one. 10th turnover of the night for East-West. As 2 players were in the backcourt denying Robinson the ball, and so Hubbard makes the easy pass over to Miranda. Right side arc with a left-hand bounce. Around the arc, it's spun to the far sideline, Hubbard. Inside the arc, left wing, Hagelin against the smaller Grace. He'll drive, and then Hagelin will lose the ball out of bounds, and it will be jettisoned away by Grace. 8th turnover for Taylor here in the first half. They come in averaging just 11 a game. As Hubbard exits and Evan Crow comes back in for TU. 4:37 to go in the first half. East-West with the ball, trailing by 17. They've trailed the entire way, falling into a 10-0 hole early. Moore around the gray screen, down the lane, head fake, almost passing it off was Torrance Thomas, and now he holds in the right side corner. Around a Moore screen, he'll stop and pop for 3, and that one missed on the right side. Robinson rebounds, and now he's off to the races. Tried to get fancy with the behind-the-back dribble, knocked away. Here's Grace throwing in. He got away with the travel, and he jammed it with 2 hands. A full timeout taken by Josh Andrews of Taylor as Grace took 2 large steps and then thundered it down with 2 hands. 34-19 the Taylor lead. Full timeout taken by the Trojans with 4:12 to go in the first half here on the Trojans Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Taylor with 9 first-half turnovers. East-West with 10. Taylor the only team out of the 2 to score any points off the miscues. They have 5, but that's the one blemish on Taylor's first-half performance. They're shooting over 50% from the floor and 63% from 3. Driving Degenkolb, left-hander against T. Thomas, bouncing outside to Hagelin, who then flips it on back to Degenkolb. Driving Mason, floats it up high to Hagelin, who goes back and gets it. Up and under move on Grace. Nicely done by Jake Hagelin, who's got 7 first-half points, tying his buddy Evan Crow for game-high honors. Taylor back in front by 17, 36-19. Moore driving on the smaller Degenkolb, spins and outside it catches through the 3. Off balance by Moore is long, and it's rebounded by Hagelin. Still no 3-point makes by East-West tonight. Robinson through contact, right to the cup, end-to-end, misses a right-hand flip. Rebounded weak side by Rodney Gaston of East-West. He'll go in, Crow cuts him off, Gaston in. His shot is missed strong, and there's a weak side rebound for Vincent Miranda. Up and down basketball here. Miranda to the cutting Robinson. His reverse layup with his right hand from left to right. Caught off the bottom of the rim. Missed. And Isaiah Grace is there for the rebound for East-West. They go from right to left in blue. Taylor defends man-to-man in white. Carl Moore is yet to really expose this matchup with Degenkolb, and another 3-point shot missed. This one by Gaston. Another rebound by Miranda, and then Robinson hits the brakes as he steps across the purple Trojan head at midcourt. Hagelin turns and faces the basket. Out to Robinson. Back to Hagelin, left block against the smaller Grace, who blocked his shot, but it gets whistled for the foul. Second one on Isaiah Grace, who averages just below 4 fouls per game. That's the 9th one against East-West here in this opening half, and Hagelin will go to the line for 2 on the shooting foul. Jake 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a game-high tying 7 here. And now he's got a game-leading 8 as he swishes the first freebie. Jason Hubbard back in for Taylor, replacing Robinson. And Nija Chandler in for East-West. He replaces Carl Moore, who will walk over, maybe trying to stretch his legs out a little bit. Hagelin makes the second free throw. CJ Pena back in to replace him. Isaiah Grace out for East-West. Jordan Robinson-Scott back in for East-West. Taylor tying a game-high lead of 19. So it's Moore, Gaston, Torrance Thomas, Robinson-Scott, and Chandler. Mid-range jump shot good, Rodney Gaston for East-West, and it's a 38-21 Taylor lead. They have Miranda, Pena, Hubbard, Crow, and Degenkolb. So all 5 players on the floor can shoot the 3 for Taylor if they so choose. Miranda spins back to a Pena screen, back to CJ. He wants a 3 ball. That's a high arcing shot. That is just long. And then Moore has the rebound, and Crow, who tried to poke it away, got more of Moore's forearm than he did the basketball. First on Evans, 7th one against Taylor. That puts East-West in the 1-1 penalty. McLeod back in to replace Vincent Miranda. Outside of good shooting numbers, Taylor has been sloppy with the ball. 7 first-half fouls and 9 turnovers. They average just 11 turnovers a game this season. Front end of the 1-1, missed short by Moore. McLeod gets it, and then he bangs in with Chandler, who gets called for the foul. And that's the 10th one against East-West. And we'll walk to the other end as Taylor's in the double bonus. Carl Moore, rubbing his left knee, walks back out. He'll take a seat on the end of the East-West bench. Still laboring a little bit. That'd be a big loss for them. He's coming off of a 27-point performance last Saturday. He averages 10 points and 4 boards a night, and is the one who's taken the most 3-pointers for them this season. McLeod will miss the first free throw short. He's got 1 more coming. 2:15 to go in the opening half. Taylor with a 17-point lead. They jumped out to a 10-0 lead and haven't looked back since. McLeod makes the second for his first scoring of the night. And Taylor up by 18 with 2:12 to go in the opening half. Nija Chandler, left-hand drive to the baseline left, goes up and around McLeod, who might have blocked it. Ball tapped away by McLeod on the miss, and it works to Moore in the corner for a 3, and finally East-West gets a 3-point shot to drop. Gianni Moore, just a 22% 3-point shooter. He makes his second try of the night, and that brings East-West back to within 15. Taylor from left to right and white. Hubbard far sideline, 1 dribble, picks it up, trying to get away from Torrance Thomas, and now deals out to Degenkolb near the timeline. Right side screen, Pena. Degenkolb will step into a 3-ball and hit it from the high left side. 9 for Mason Degenkolb at his first 3-point try of the night. He was 5 of 5 in Taylor's win last Friday, and he hits his first one here. Taylor up 42-24. Then Degenkolb comes back and blocks the Moore 3-point try. He can't get the miss, and the ball lost out of bounds by Gaston as he was being pestered by Taylor's Evan Crow. Good comeback on the Mason Degenkolb block. Mason will run the point with Robinson on the bench with 2 fouls, and Miranda getting a breather as well. Pena has already used his dribble, deals off to Degenkolb. Fakes the 3, gets right around Moore, goes right at Gaston and lays it in with a right hand. Degenkolb feasting against these smaller guards. He's got 11 in the first half, and Taylor takes their largest lead of the night. They're up by 20, 44-24. Torrance Thomas, Degenkolb switches, almost poked the ball away. Under a minute to go here in half 1. Chandler calls for it against McLeod, gets it 18 feet away from the left wing. Right-hand dribble, up and under move, right-hand banker from the left side of the glass is good on a quick move by Nija Chandler. 44-26, the Taylor advantage. Degenkolb on a 5-0 run, trying to make it 8, and that one, well, 3-point shot was halfway down and out. Pena tapping it around, and Taylor couldn't gobble it up. Gianni Moore comes slashing in and scoops it away. Hesitation move, spinning away, free throw line. He'll spin away and shoot it up, but they'll get Degenkolb for the reach-in foul. Mason's second, and number 8 against Taylor. So the top 2 scorers for the Trojans, Robinson and now Degenkolb, have each picked up 2 personal fouls here in the opening half. Well, 1-1 here for Gianni Moore, who is 0 for 1 tonight, makes the second one, or makes the first try of the night, or first try of this trip, I should say. 4 points for Moore. Isaiah Grace, their leading scorer on the year, their leading scorer in the game on the bench with 6. And Moore now with 5. Shot clock turned off. Taylor with the ball up 44-28 with 22 seconds left to go in the opening half. Degenkolb walks it across the timeline, and Taylor will hold for the final shot. They scored the first 10 points of the game. They haven't trailed since at all. Game clock down to 7, and now 6. Pena comes to set the screen. Degenkolb takes on the right side. Double team comes with 4. Degenkolb to the corner through Crow's hands and a land on the near sideline. And another turnover against the Trojans. That is double-figure turnovers here in this opening half. That might be their 11th turnover, matching their season average. Pass knocked away. Degenkolb tried it, could not get it back in. The ball goes out of bounds with 0.2 of a second left in the first half. And all Taylor has to do is get it in. Nope. They'll say it will be an east-west dealing with Gaston far sideline. With 0.2. Some more in the backcourt. And that will do it for our first half of play. Taylor scored the first 10 of the night. They have not trailed at all this evening. They lead 44-28 as we head to the halftime break. When we come back, we will have the BSN Sports Halftime Report here on the Trojan Sports Network.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel. Boy, do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland, full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Back here inside Odell Arena, this is the BSN Sports Halftime Report, and at the break, it's all Taylor. They lead East-West 44-28. They led by as many as 20, and they lead by 16 here at halftime. No ties and no lead changes as Taylor scored the first 10 points of the game, and they have not looked back since. Taylor was 52% from the floor in the opening half, 15 of 29. They made 6 of their 11 threes, and they were 8 of 10 from the free throw line. Their leading scorer in the first half was Mason Degenkolb, who had 11 points on 5 of 7 shooting. He was 1 of 2 from deep. He also had a rebound and 2 assists. Jake Hagelin had 9 points on 3 of 5 shooting, also 3 of 4 from the line. Evan Crow, 7 points off the bench for Taylor on 2 of 3 shooting, 1 of 2 from deep. Jason Hubbard had 5 points. Taylor's leading scorer, Ryan Robinson, 6 points on 2 of 7 shooting, but he also had 4 assists and also a steal and 3 rebounds. Hubbard had 5. McLeod had 1. Vincent Miranda, 5 off the bench. And C.J. Pena, no points. He missed the only shot that he took, but he also had 4 rebounds in the first half for Taylor. No double-figure scores for East-West in the first half as they shot 32% from the field. They were just 1 of 9 from 3, but they did go 7 of 10 from the free throw line. Their leading scorer in the first half is their leading scorer this season, Isaiah Grace, with 8 points on 3 of 8 shooting. He was 0 of 2 from 3 and 2 of 2 from the line. Gianni Moore, 5 points off the bench with 2 free throws and a 3-point basket. 4 apiece for Torrance Thomas, a starter, and 4 for Nijah Chandler. He came off the bench. Carl Moore with 3 points, Caleb Thomas none, and same thing for Jordan Robinson-Scott to round out the starters. Others playing in the first half for East-West, Rodney Gaston with 2, Kenneth King with 2, We mentioned Chandler with 4 and Moore with 5. Taylor has the edge in rebounding 20-17 over East West. The Trojans' 2 leading rebounders, Vincent Miranda and C.J. Pena, each with 4. The leading rebounder for East West is Isaiah Grace. He also has 4. Taylor had 9 assists on their 15 first-half baskets, 4 from Ryan Robinson, 2 apiece for Hubbard and Degenkolb. 4 assists on 10 field goals in the first half for East West. Kenneth King led the way with 3. Just 1 block in the first half for East West. That was from Kenneth King. They had 6 steals, and Isaiah Grace had 3. Taylor had 3 blocks in the first half, no one with more than 1, and they had 4 steals with Vincent Miranda with a pair. The one troubling spot for Taylor in that first half was turnovers. They turned it over 10 times, including 4 by Vincent Miranda, which is 1 off of their season average of 11. East West turned it over 11 times. No one really able to make a lot of ground up off the turnover. Taylor scored 5 points off the turnover, none for East West. Other points of note, 6 fast break points for the visitors, 2 for Taylor. Points in the paint in favor of the Trojans, 18-12. They also had the only 2 second chance points on their only offensive rebound of the first half. And the East West bench had the narrow edge over Taylor's reserves, 13-12. That'll do it for the BSN Sports Halftime Report. We'll come back with the second half between Taylor and East West at the break. It's Taylor 44 and East West 28 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Join the Trojan Club today and support Taylor student athletes 12 months a year. The Trojan Club has 6 different levels of membership for you to choose from. You can join for as low as $100 all the way up to the athletic director level for $1,500. Each level receives premiums, complimentary season tickets, as well as gifts from the athletic department. Members also receive special recognition during halftime of the annual Silent Night game. In recent years, members have helped supply the funds for a sports information position, purchasing equipment for teams and the athletic training staff, and providing broadcasts of Trojan athletics, like the one you're enjoying right now. With the support of alumni and friends, the Taylor combination of spiritual growth, outstanding academics, and a highly competitive intercollegiate athletic program can continue. To join, call 765-998-5311 or log on to athletics.taylor.edu and search Trojan Club. The Trojan Club, supporting Taylor University's student athletes.
The Taylor University campus store, with their innovative textbook butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts, supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at taylorcampusstore.com.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Play that old song. You really want her to play it. That's what's really going to open her. You got to have the music. Right? You just listen to it.
So East-West is just back on the floor here with no members of their coaching staff. Their starter, they came out with about 10 seconds left to go in halftime, and so we are quickly back underway. Here comes our coaching staff from the door out to our left. Hubbard on the first possession of the second half hits an 18-foot jumper. 7 for Jason Hubbard. And Taylor scores on the opening possession of half number 2. Stars back on the floor for both sides. Robinson, Scott, the Thomases, Moore, and Isaiah Grace, the 5 out there for East-West. Here's Caleb Thomas trying to get away from the long Jason Hubbard. He'll spin in, picked up the bounce, trying to bounce pass to the weak side and towards Thomas. His pass intercepted by McLeod. Robinson up to Degenkolb, out racing everybody for a right-hand layup and a foul. Robinson, Scott got back, but could not block the shot as Degenkolb took another beating as he went to the rim. Foul on Robinson, Scott his first. And Taylor matches their largest lead of the night at 20, and Degenkolb can make it a new game high with this free throw, and he does. He's got 14 points, a good showing for Mason after pouring in a season-high 27 in the win last week. Taylor up by 21, 45 seconds into the second half. Moore will bounce to Isaiah Grace in the right corner. He led East-West in scoring in the first half with 8. K. Thomas drives, flips outside to Grace. Nice handles for a 6'7" man. He'll nicely rainbow in an 18-foot jump shot. Isaiah Grace with 8 on a pretty little dribble pull-up from the top of the key. And Taylor's lead down to 19. Robinson picks up the bounce, far pass. McLeod able to gather it back in on an off-target offering. Degenkolb, right hash mark, will float it in high to Hagelin. Turns and faces the basket. One dribble. Robinson around the arc. It goes to Degenkolb. Hagelin sets the right side screen, gets Degenkolb down the lane against the taller Grace, misses it just short, and Grace has the rebound. It goes out, deflected out of bounds by Degenkolb, and East-West gets the ball back. Just the third miss from the floor tonight for Mason Degenkolb, and Taylor up 49-30. East-West from left to right, the Phantoms wear blue. Taylor defends in the man-to-man. They are in white. Moore trying to spin away from Degenkolb, and as he did, he lost the ball, saves it back into the middle of the floor, but he stepped on the far sideline, and that gives the ball back to Taylor. 12th turnover of the night for East-West. They come in averaging 17 turnovers an evening. Taylor had 10 first-half turnovers. That is an uncharacteristically high number for the Trojans. As we mentioned, they average just 11 per game coming in. McLeod a handoff to Degenkolb right side. Taylor and White, they attack the basket to our left. Mid-post to left, Hagelin right-hand dribble. Grace giving him plenty of space. Got to the restricted area. Hagelin couldn't hit a turnaround shot. He'll fight for the rebound and gather it in the near side corner. He'll bullet one through traffic to the cross court, and the right side is gathered by McLeod. He'll get it back on a handoff from Hagelin. Into the corner it goes from Robinson to Degenkolb. Driving baseline left with the left hand, got into the air, tried to get it to the cutting McLeod. It was deflected and landed right in James's hands for a right-hand shot. First field goal for James McLeod, and Taylor back in front by a game-high tying 21. 2.5 into the second half. Moore to Grace, 18-foot jumper, and the lefty switches it from the right wing. Grace, the first visitor in double figures for East-West. He's got 10 of their 32, and Taylor's lead back down to 19. Hagelin, right side, Robinson fakes the three, darts around Hagelin, back to him. Left-hand pass it to gather it back in, and towards Thomas, knocked it away. Here comes Thomas, accelerating to the other end, and then he draws a foul as he tried to right-hand finger roll it home, and his legs were cut out from underneath him, and if that's on Robinson, that's his third, and it is. So the third foul against the Trojans' leading scorer, Ryan Robinson. Thomas jumped short, and then Robinson came in and clipped him on the legs and got him for the foul. And Thomas makes the first free throw, his first point of the second half. He's got 5 overall. Robinson Scott exits. Kenneth King comes back in for East-West. Thomas not a good free throw shooter on the year, just 46%, but the first one looked really strong. And so does the second one. Both perfect swishes. Nicely done there by Thomas. He's got 6. And the Taylor lead at 51-34. 17:04 to go here in the opening half. Robinson, right-hand dribble back to his left around to Hagelin screen. Off to Hubbard and to the near sideline it goes Degenkolb. Inside the arc, Hagelin, Grace giving him plenty of space. Jake backs him down easily, got right to the rim for an easy right-hand hook. Jake just took about 3 or 4 dribbles, just moved the lighter Grace down in there, and Hagelin's in double figures with 11. Thomas to the other end jumps into contact, and it looks like this might be the fourth one. No, it will not go against Ryan Robinson, thankfully for the Trojans. That's the first one on Hagelin, and the second one against Taylor in the half, and Torrance Thomas goes back to the line. Thomas made both his last time down, and this one will spin off the front of the rim short. So Pena in for the Trojans. Thomas missed the freebie, the first one. He'll miss the second one short. Ball tapped around, and McLeod will find that one to fall into his arms. So it's Hubbard, Pena, Robinson, Degenkolb, and McLeod. Some good length and some good speed out there for the Trojans. High middle screen, McLeod. Robinson hands off to Degenkolb, but now to the hands of Hubbard, who's guarded by Torrance Thomas. Two-hand bouncer to the near side, and Robinson stepping out. Hubbard fakes the three, trying to get away from the smaller Thomas. Out to Pena. One more pass. Robinson, an extra pass to Degenkolb. He'll step in from 20 feet. His shot off the back rim, but there's Pena for the rebound. His shot will just spin off the rim, but CJ gets his own miss and puts it back in. First bucket for CJ Pena, and Taylor up by 21 once again as Pena pogo sticked up and down for multiple rebounds. He'll get another one here. He was knocked out of his hands before Kenneth King came crashing into him from behind. The second one on King, the second one against East-West here in our second half. And that brings us to the first media timeout of our second half. 15:59 to go in half two. It's Taylor 55 and East-West 34 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Ivanhoe's has been serving Taylor students since 1965 when Ivan and Carol Slane purchased the restaurant. Located on Main Street, Ivanhoe's is less than a mile from the Taylor campus and is open 7 days a week. The menu features choices for lunch, dinner, as well as 100 different milkshakes and sundaes. Customers can find other dessert items as well. The staff is proud to support Taylor University and appreciates the support of Ivanhoe's through the years.
Taylor up 55-34 here in the second half. They've led the entire way. And the Trojans will have no changes in their five. Again, it's Robinson, Degenkolb, McLeod, Hubbard, and Pena. No changes either for East-West as they go to a 1-3-1 matchup zone. McLeod near the volleyball line to the near side of the floor, and Hubbard. Now East-West slides into the 2-3 zone. Robinson, far sideline, crossing over to his right hand, trying to falls down and bounces it over to Degenkolb. Ball knocked away, and here comes East-West the other way. Degenkolb cut underneath King. McLeod trying to tap it away. Going up is Thomas, who will lay it in around Hubbard for a tough bucket for Caleb Thomas with his left hand at the left side of the rim. A turnover leads directly to points here for East-West, and they're back down by 20, or less than 20, I should say. Here goes East-West back into the zone again. Robinson trying to make him pay. His only 2 buckets have been on 3-point tries tonight. He's been held scoreless here so far in the second half. Hubbard bouncing into the zone to Degenkolb. Floating near side McLeod. Around the arc it goes to Robinson. Catch and shoot 3 ball. That one's short. Hubbard will jump in. Almost tapped it in with his left hand as he tried to gather in the rebound. It went off of his left shoulder and out of bounds. Nija Chandler in for East-West, replacing Torrance Thomas. Evan Crow in for the first time here the second half for Taylor. He replaces James McLeod. Caleb Thomas runs the point for East-West. He moves the ball to the left side now, quickly drives right to the rim, up and around Crow for the layup that'll just dance off the rim. Crow tried to save it, and it goes out of bounds off of the Trojans. Caleb Thomas is quick as a hiccup as he went blistering right to the rim. Around Robinson, who exits, and Miranda comes in to spell him. East-West playing without 2 starters tonight, Alan Morris and Marlick Williams. Kingdom Moore, their best 3-point shooter. He'll miss that one badly as it grazes the bottom of the net. Miranda up to the out-leaking Degenkolb for a breakaway right-hand layup. 16 for Mason. That leads the game, and Taylor back in front by 21. With 14:35 to go in half number 2. Moore down to the cutting Grace. Got away from Pena and easily lays it home with the left hand. 12 for Isaiah Grace, his 4th points here this second half. And Miranda runs the point for Taylor. Off to Degenkolb and up top between the circles to Pena. Fakes the pass to his left to the right side, Miranda, who darts around the Pena screen. Back to an open C.J. Pena 3-ball, which is perfect. Bucket for Pena. He was 3 of 3 from deep on Friday, and he's 1 of 2 tonight. He's got 5, and Taylor up 60-38. Pena guarding Grace. He wants to answer with a 3, and the lefty will spin it off the rim. Hubbard had it. King will knock it away, and that one goes out of bounds. Grace 0 of 3 from 3-point range, coming off of a 28-point, 17-rebound, 3-assist, 1-block performance last Saturday when he was 11 of 21 from the floor. Hubbard near side arc, back up top to the trailing Miranda. Inside the arc, left side circle, Pena turns and faces the basket to Miranda, who gets right away from Thomas, draws 3 defenders, out to Pena, wants his second 3 in a row, and he gets it from the left side arc. That will... An off-ball foul, or an off-ball whistle comes on a timeout as a player is down for East-West. We will pause as the athletic training staff takes a look at that member of the East-West roster here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Nija Chandler, the injured East-West player. Rodney Gasson comes in to replace him as he holds on the near side arc. Trying to cross over and get away from Hubbard. Almost stepped on the baseline right now, up top to Moore, their most volume-taking 3-point shooter. Gasson wants a 3. That one missed off the near side rim. Bounces inbounds, and Moore gets it down. Bouncing away, ball loose out of bounds as King tried to snatch it away from Crow, but could not haul it in. Jake Hagelin back in for the Trojans to replace Hubbard. 27 to shoot for East-West. They have the ball trailing 63-38. They've trailed the entire game. Carl Moore will get it in, baseline right, up top to Grace. The lefty big man jabs and will now deal left side of the arc of the floor to Caleb Williams. Skipping and spinning away from Miranda, hangs in the air, and the lefty will knock down a fadeaway jumper. 4th one from Caleb Thomas, 4 points for him. And the Taylor lead at 63-40. Just 7 minutes into the second half as Hagelin holds way outside the arc. Right side high, Degenkolb gets right away from his defender, tried to go up and under to the corner, and a Miranda three from the left side is good. Second triple for Vincent Miranda. He's got 8, his first scoring of the second half, and Taylor goes back in front by 26. Moore trying to answer the three, cannot, and Hagelin has the rebound for Taylor. Miranda up the floor to Degenkolb, who might wait for reinforcements. Nope, got into the air. Pena steps back, wants a third three. That one halfway down and out. Ball tapped out of bounds off of Taylor's Jake Hageland, and it goes back to East-West. Ryan Robinson back in to spell his roommate and good buddy Mason Degenkolb. Good to see CJ shooting the three ball well. He's 6 of 12 from 3 coming in his last 3 games. He's 2 of 4 tonight. Caleb Thomas, guarded by Vincent Miranda, steps out to him, makes him pick up the dribble, and he'll give off to the left sideline and Grace. Will bounce it around to the cutting Gaston against the shorter Robinson. Shot on the way and good by the 6'3", Rodney Gaston. Second field goal for Gaston of the night. He's got 4 points. And it's a 66-42 Taylor lead. Hagelin almost had it knocked away from him. Miranda up top of Robinson. Fakes a three and now moves the ball back outside. High middle screen, Hagelin. Robinson open after the hedge. A deep three ball will spin off the rim. Hagelin gets it, trying to power back up through contact, missed, and Jake will draw the foul. That is in Robinson's range easily. And the foul is on Isaiah Grace's third, and the third one against East-West here in the second half. Jake to the line twice, 3 of 4 tonight, made 3 in a row, and now has made 4 in a row. He's got 12. This is to give Taylor the 25-point lead back. Yep. Or 26, excuse me. And timeout on the floor. 30-second timeout taken by the Trojans. We'll take it with them. Hagelin makes both free throws. He's now made 5 in a row. He's got 13 points. Degenkolb's got a game-high 16, and the Trojans lead 68-42 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
It's true. Many of us spend more time thinking about what's for dinner than thinking about retirement. But if you think your retirement needs deserve more attention, we agree, and we'd like to help. Your local Edward Jones financial advisors, Ryan Jones, Mark Sieglin, and Rob Sisson, can help you get started today. They are proud corporate partners of Taylor University Athletics. Edward Jones, making sense of investing.
.46 to go in the second half. Taylor out of there. Taylor calling the 30-second timeout. It's Rodney Gaston, Caleb Thomas, Carl Moore, Isaiah Grace, and Kenneth King, the 5 out there for East-West. Taylor counters with C.J. Pena, Ryan Robinson, Evan Crow, Vincent Miranda, and Jake Hagelin. Nice little pass down low to the right block, and Kenneth King banks it in for 2. He's got 4 points, a good play out of the timeout there by East-West. Taylor with the ball, leading 68-44. Robinson drives, kicks out to an open Miranda. 3 in front of his own bench is good, and he's fouled. Has got a chance at a 4-point play. Third made 3 in a row by Vincent Miranda. That puts him in double figures. And the foul is on Caleb Thomas, his 4th. Pena exits, and James McLeod comes back in for Taylor. For the 4-point play, no good as Miranda misses the freebie. He's 3 of 4 from deep, making 3 in a row. He's the 3rd Trojan in double figures with 12. 71-44, the Taylor lead. Moore drives on Robinson. Circus layup reverse from right to left. The left hand is good off the high glass. Pretty move by Gianni Moore. 30-second timeout taken by East-West as they trail 71-46 to Taylor with 11:09 to go here in the second half.
Since opening in the late 1980s, the Maddox Family Dental Center has been focusing on providing the highest quality dental care for their patients. Children to adults can receive a full-service treatment to meet their dental needs. The Maddox Family Dental Center has 2 locations in Hartford City and Dunkirk and always welcomes new patients. The Maddox Family Dental Center, a proud corporate partner of Taylor University Athletics.
Taylor with the ball out of the 32nd East-West timeout. And McLeod will get it in the backcourt to Robinson. Double team comes. He'll bounce it through the two defenders to Miranda. Long pass, too far for Robinson to get to, and it goes out of bounds and goes back to East-West. Turnovers have been the bugaboo for Taylor tonight. That's their 13th of the evening, 2 more than their season average. East-West has 13 themselves. 9 minutes gone, second half. East-West with the ball from left to right in blue. They trail 71-46. Moore trying to get going from three. He still cannot. Off the heel, gets his own rebound. Will bounce to the corner, and Isaiah Grace has not made a three tonight, and that changes with a left corner three. First three ball for Isaiah Grace. Their leading scorer has 15 points to lead them in the contest. And a quick 5-0 run by the Phantoms. And it's a 71-49 Taylor lead. The Trojans whip it around the arc. Miranda draws the eyes of two defenders in the zone. Still has yet to use the dribble, trying to split the D, and they'll call Vincent for the travel as he was tied up on the far side by two defenders. 71-49 the Taylor lead. They've led the entire way, leading by as many as 26. Moore runs the point with Robinson staring right at him in the man-to-man. Around a king screen, Moore stop and pop. That one off the front rim, and McLeod is there for the rebound for Taylor. Moore just 1 of 4 from long range. Up the floor, Robinson. Crow measures a three. That one long. Miranda trying to get the weak side rebound. Moore tries to save it. It bounces right back to Hegeland, and the shot clock will reset. Robinson running the half-court set. Mismatch on the big man, Grace. Crossing over to the right hand, then Grace picked his pocket. McLeod hustles back, will cut off Grace, who veers to the left and waits for reinforcements. It looked like Taylor would have the mismatch with a fleet-footed Robinson. Moore steps into a three. That one barely got to the rim. It's tapped around and a foul down low called against Kenneth King. Quick hands there by the 6'7" Isaiah Grace to poke it away from the excellent ball handling Ryan Robinson. Jason Hubbard, Mason Degenkolb back in for Taylor, replacing Miranda and Robinson. So a good steal there from Grace. Has done everything tonight for East-West. Pressure in the backcourt from East-West. Degenkolb gets it back from McLeod. Now the trap comes, trying to spin away. Mason spins, and a foul called against East-West as Mason spun away. Or do they get the timeout first? Nope, it'll be a foul. And then a timeout.
The Taylor University
30-second
campus
timeout
store
taken by the
with their
Trojans, so
innovative
no foul
textbook
against
Butler
East-West.
delivery service and
9:39 to go, second half. Taylor up 71-49.
The Taylor University campus store with their innovative textbook Butler delivery service and name brand Taylor apparel and gifts supports the Trojans year-round. The campus store, powered by Tree of Life Books, is a proud corporate partner of TU Athletics. It's easy to find something to show off someone's TU pride with 2 campus locations, one in the Dome and one in the campus center near the food court. The store is also open 24/7 at TaylorCampusStore.com.
McLeod will get it in from the far sideline. Again, pressure in the backcourt applied by Gaston Moore of East-West. McLeod floats into the backcourt and Degenkolb. Left-hand dribble as he sprints with Gaston cutting him off. Degenkolb will one-hand wrap a pass around to McLeod across the timeline. Just 11 to shoot here for the Trojans, so Degenkolb might have to take it himself with 8 to shoot. Steps in for a contested three left side. Nope. Crow there for the rebound for Taylor, and Taylor gets another reset. 9:18 to go, second half. A sloppy performance with a lot of turnovers by Taylor tonight, but they are leading 71-49. Hubbard right sideline in front of his own bench. Left-hand dribble once. To the top of the key, the pass goes to Degenkolb. Mason with the right-hand dribble. Left side screen, Hegeland. Double team comes. Mason around the arc to Crow to the corner, and McLeod with 7 to shoot. Trying to take King off the bounce ball, knocked away. And it goes off. And McLeod gets up looking for a foul, pointing to his right forearm as Gaston came crashing into him and deflected the ball away. 5 to shoot for the Trojans with 8:57 to go in the second half. They lead 71-49. Degenkolb will get it in baseline left and calls out the play. Pass too far from McLeod. It goes out of bounds, and it goes back to East-West. Yet another turnover against Taylor tonight. They're 16th on the evening. That's 3 more than East-West. Gaston front court, gives off to Moore in front of his own bench, far sideline. East-West going from left to right in blue. Taylor defends man-to-man in white. Degenkolb switches on Moore. And now back to Carl Moore near side. Gaston with Hubbard defending him. Grace, a three over Hegeland. Now Grace has made 2 in a row. He missed his first 3. Now he's got 18. He's made his last 2 threes. And Taylor's lead 71-52. First time it's been below 20 since the opening half. Hubbard stops and shoots a three over Grace. That one long. And Jason 1 of 2 from three-point range. 71-52 the Taylor lead, but the Trojans' turnovers have allowed East West to get back into it. Moore still cannot dial it in from long range. Grace gets the rebound down to King, whose shot is blocked by Crow, but it went right to the hands of Carl Moore, who puts it in for 2. He's got 5. Degenkolb trying to race away from pressure. He wheels away, gets bumped by King at the timeline, and that's the 4th one against Kenneth King. A media timeout comes, and Taylor desperately needs a break. 7:56 remaining in the second half. It's Taylor 71, East West 54, here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
$7:56 to go in the second half. Taylor's led the entire way. They scored the first 10 points of the night, but some turnovers here recently have drawn East-West back to within less than 20 for the first time since halftime. Taylor with the ball, leading 71-54, less than 8 to go in the second half. Pena has re-entered for Taylor, who'll pass it off to Degenkolb, high right side. Right-hand dribble draws 2 defenders over both, and the bank shot is good for Mason Degenkolb. He's got a game-high 18, tying Isaiah Grace of East-West with that honor. And a good drive and take by Mason. Taylor back in front by 19. Caleb Moore near sideline, up top, almost too high for Gaston, who pogo sticks and hauls it down. Trying to spin away, goes into McLeod, knocked it free, scooped up by Pena. He'll stop and he'll run it up the right sideline. Stops, waits for reinforcements, and finds Degenkolb. Mason, right sideline, Crow, an open look at 3. That one short, barely grazing the bottom of the rim. It's tipped out of bounds by Hubbard and goes back to East-West. Good look from Crow. He made his first one of the night, but has missed his last 3 tries. From deep, he'll exit, and Ryan Robinson comes back in. A small lineup on the floor here for Taylor, with Pena, their tallest man, at 6'6", Hubbard at 6'5", McLeod at 6'5", and then Robinson 5'10", and Degenkolb 6 feet even. Caleb Moore, a size mismatch against Degenkolb, won't take it. He gives it out to Gaston, who misses another 3. Gaston 0 of 3 from long range. McLeod is there for the right side rebound for Taylor. Cross-court pass, far side, Pena. Robinson blows right away, fakes the pass, he'll scoop it home with the right hand. First second half scoring for Ryan Robinson. And Taylor back in front by 21, 75-54, with 6:42 remaining in tonight's contest. Miranda claps his hands at the scores table across from us. Gaston dribbles off the back of his heel, scooped up by Isaiah Grace as both Hubbard and Gaston went diving for the loose ball. Moore drives on Robinson, whose shot is absolutely smothered out of bounds on a block by Jason Hubbard, the Trojans' leader in that category. Hubbard saw it coming. He leapt into the air, hung there, and then beat that shot out of bounds like a drum. He exits to a nice ovation as Miranda comes in to spell him. Gianni Moore gets it in baseline right to Caleb Moore. Holding on the near sideline with Degenkolb defending. They'll bounce it up top to Gaston. Around him, a score, Moore screen, off balance, 1-foot 3 try. Nope. Pena taps it to himself, and he'll gather it in on the baseline. Gianni Moore just 1 of 5 from long range, and now Pena gives off to Miranda, who steps to the front court. Degenkolb trails. And now Pena holds up top with Grace guarding him. Open, Degenkolb fakes a 3, darts away, now no look dish. Pena for his 3rd 3 of the night. Just halfway down and out, Miranda leaps into the air. He'll go diving on the floor, trying to rip it away from Chandler, who is tied up from behind, and the ball squirts free, and Taylor gets whistled for a reach on either Degenkolb or Pena, or excuse me, McLeod. It'll go against James McLeod. That's James's second, just the third one against Taylor here in the second half. Degenkolb was hopping up and down mad, thinking that Taylor had gotten the steal clean. Instead, they were guilty of a foul. 21-point Taylor lead, 5:52 to go in our second half. And East-West with the ball from left to right. Nyjah Chandler up and under move attempt against McLeod off the bank. Nope. There's another rebound for C.J. Pena. He's closing in on another double-figure rebounding game. Robinson just weaving through defenders to the corner. Degenkolb fakes and drives baseline right into the air, dishing off to Robinson. Step back three. No. Here's Pena trying to battle with Graceford, who comes away with the rebound. Robinson has missed 4 3-pointers in a row after hitting his first 2 of the night. Gaston wants a 3, and that one grazes the bottom of the rim. His fourth miss from 3 is 0 for 4. Miranda stops, goes, goats, and in for a right-hand finger roll. Miranda stopping and starting and scoring 13 points for the sophomore from Napanee, Indiana. East-West timeout. It'll be a full timeout. That's all they've got remaining. And 5:11 to go second half. Taylor leads 77-54 here on the Trojan Sports Network.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body. And its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
.5:11 remaining in tonight's game. Taylor up 77-54. Degenkolb, Robinson, McLeod, Miranda, and Pena, the Taylor 5. Moore. Grace from the corner, 3-ball, nope. That's his first miss in 3 tries. Down low to Robinson Scott, whose shot is beat out of bounds by James McLeod. Other members on the floor for East-West. Nyjah Chandler, Gianni Moore, Carl Moore, Isaiah Grace, and Jordan Robinson Scott. Grace gets it in baseline left, down low to the big fella. Moore spins and banks it in over the smaller Degenkolb. 7 points for Carl Moore, 4 here in the second half. And the Taylor lead is at 77-56 with 4:46 and counting here in our second half. Robinson runs the show, back to the screening. Pena up top, bullets one down low to the cutting Miranda, who easily banks it home. Vincent Miranda with 15, 2 off of a season high, 3 off of a career high. And Taylor back in front by 23. 4.5 to go second half. Gianni Moore bounces right elbow to Grace. Picks it up over the shorter Pena. Shot will hit the rim and dance in for another deuce. Isaiah Grace with 20, 12 here in the second half. And the Taylor lead down to 21. Robinson accelerating, hits the brakes, and backs it out near the volleyball line. Left-hand dribble, points where he wants Pena to set the screen. Instead, passes off to him. Pena back to the near sideline, and Robinson. Moore knocked it away, but Ryan got it back. Step back, thought about a contested 3, and instead Taylor spins it around the arc. Miranda to Pena, back to Miranda. Weaving, dribbling, stopping in the lane, bouncing to Degenkolb with 5. With 4 to shoot with 3. Degenkolb drives, a nice little right-hand finger roll is good, and Mason gets the foul as he goes sprawling down to the floor. 20 for Mason Degenkolb, coming off of that season-high 27 last Friday. And Mason will go to the line for a chance at an and-1. Foul on Chandler, his second, the seventh against East-West in the half. And Degenkolb to the line. He is just 1 of 1 from the line tonight. Let's make it 2 of 2. He's got a game-high 21. He exits. Evan Crow comes in to spell him. That might be the last time we see Mason tonight. And Taylor up 82-58 with 3:45 remaining in the second half. Grace with a mismatch. Bullets one down low over Torrance Thomas, who was able to get it back and floats one in from the baseline left. That pass almost took off C.J. Pena's head on an absolute rocket from Isaiah Grace. He found Torrance Thomas down low, and Torrance Thomas has got 8 points. for East-West, the Phantoms, who trail 82-60. Robinson, left side, crossing over to his left hand, down the lane, no look dish to McLeod, step in, 10-foot jump shot off the back rim, just off target, and Isaiah Grace has the rebound for East-West. To the accelerating Torrance Thomas. Out of bounds, the pass goes and thrown out by Nija Chandler, who is cut off by McLeod on the baseline underneath the hoop. Taylor from right to left in whites. They look to be well on their way to a 7-8 overall record. They'll move to 5-3 at home with a win tonight. Robinson, Pena there for the screen, will go far side to McLeod. Far sideline, Miranda. Grace will knock it away, intended for Pena. And Keegan Owen comes in for Taylor. He replaces Ryan Robinson. Keegan Owen, 2 points, 2 assists in 13 minutes last Friday in the win over Lincoln Christian. 18 to shoot as McLeod will get it in from the baseline, from the sideline across from us. To Miranda in traffic, jumps into the air, steps away, and then coming up hopping is Carl Moore. Maybe his left knee, which is what he's favoring, might have hit Miranda. 10 to shoot for the Trojans. Miranda will bounce a pass off to Pena. Crow, a three-point try over traffic is good from the left side arc. 10 points for Evan Crow, his second three ball of the night, and he is the fourth different Trojan player in double figures. And Taylor back in front by 25. 85-60, 2.5 to go in regulation. Grace looking over Pena, and a traveling violation is called against Isaiah Grace of East-West. Kenneth King comes back in for East-West. He will replace Carl Moore. Another expert shooting night by the Trojans. They're over 50% tonight, 44% from long range. Robinson Scott defends Owen in the backcourt. Got to his left hand and sprints across the center jump circle. Goes right down the lane, knocked out of his hands, and Keegan will go to the line for 2. Foul on Isaiah Grace, his 4th. And Owen to the line for 2. Keegan 2 of 4 from the line this season. All 4 of his free throw tries came in last Friday's game against Lincoln Christian. His first free throw tonight is good. That makes it a 26 point Taylor lead. The Trojans were up 16 at the half. They've outscored East-West by 11 here as Owen misses the second free throw. 87-60 the Taylor lead as East-West goes from left to right. Spinning in the paint, Chandler will dish it to the corner, and Torrance Thomas. Down the lane, right-hand floater, nope. Miranda has it, taps it to himself, and gets it back. There's traffic down low, and it's a foul called against East-West. It is. So it's foul on Jordan Robinson Scott, his second. At the minute 57 left, the Trojans will empty the bench. Luke Huffer in to get Evan Crow. Bailey Hester will come in. He'll replace Miranda. Cade Newbert at the scorer's table. Cade comes in to get whom? Mr. McLeod. So Taylor's got 87 points, East-West with 60. And now they've got 88 as Miranda makes the first of 2 free throws. He's got 16. One more will tie his season high. And he does. So 17 for Vincent Miranda off the bench. Bailey Hester comes in to get him. And it's an 88-60 Taylor lead with less than 2 to go here in the second half. Near side of the floor, Robinson Scott flipping it outside to Chandler, trying to get away from Newbert. Back down to Robinson Scott, who lost it, got it back. His shot off left and glass. The putback is missed by Kenneth King, and he'll go to the line twice as he is fouled. So it's an 89-60 Taylor advantage with 1:40 to go second half. And Kenneth King to the line for 2. His first one will just spin off the rim. His first miss from the line tonight. He's now 2 of 3. Second free throw. Front rim, no, but crashing in as Torrance Thomas gets the rebound down to Robinson Scott, who's fouled by Cade Newbert. Luke Huffer got the first foul, and now we'll have a couple more free throws. Robinson Scott, 2 shots for him. First trip to the line tonight. That one hits off the front rim. His first miss from the free throw line this season and in his career for the freshman from Chicago. Second one, good. First point for Robinson Scott tonight. It's an 89-61 Taylor lead. Torrance Thomas almost took it away from Owen. It's deflected out of bounds, and Taylor will get it back. East-West will fall to 2-23 on the year, 1-17 on the road. Taylor will improve to 7-8 and 5-3 here on the home floor. Pena into Owen, and Owen takes a foul to the teeth. And Keegan will have 2 more free throws. Foul on Kenneth King. He fouls out for the 4th time this season. Caleb Thomas comes in to spell him. Taylor still shooting over 52% tonight. Owen for 2. Connects on the first. Taylor bench has outscored the East-West bench tonight by a 36-19 margin, make it 37-19 margin. Second one from Owen. Knocks them both down. Keegan with 3 off the bench, all on free throws. And Taylor up 91-61, their biggest lead of the night, with 90 seconds left here in the second half. Caleb Thomas guarded by Bailey Hester. Right-hand dribble down the lane, stops, lobs it up to Grace. A reverse layup will just miss, and Newbert has the rebound for Taylor. Over to Pena, 5 freshmen on the floor for the Trojans. And Taylor will have to get a shot up with 1:12 remaining here in this second half, and they lead 91-61. Hester drives, Pena takes. Double team, spinning, trying to find some help. He's got Hester behind him, jumps and kicks it out to him. And they'll say CJ stepped. No, they'll say Hester went out of bounds and then came back in bounds before Pena got on the ball, and the ball goes back to East-West. With 54 7/10 of a second remaining here in half number 2. Caleb Thomas up the left sideline for East-West. They're clad in blue. Taylor defends in white. Grace banging against Pena, spins and goes in. And a foul on the floor will go against Taylor's C.J. Pena. As a tough guard for Pena down low. C.J. 6'6" and long, but Isaiah Grace 6'7" and a little bit longer. 6th one against Taylor. About 22 seconds between game and shot clock. Robinson Scott in the paint around Huffer. To Chandler on the near side. He'll drive with the left hand, goes right in for a shot that misses the rim. But a foul is called from behind against Taylor's Cade Newbert. Second one on Newbert. And a 1-and-1 upcoming here for East-West's Nyjah Chandler. First trip to the line for Chandler tonight. A 68% free throw shooter on the season. Hits the first. He's got 5 points tonight. That's his first point of the second half. 34 4/10 of a second remaining. Second one from Chandler. Rainbow short. Lane violation called against East-West Torrance Thomas, and that will give Taylor the ball back. With 34 4/10 of a second remaining here in our second half. Pena will bounce to the far side. Hester knocked away, and they get Torrance Thomas for a reach-in. So we'll walk to the other end for Bailey Hester to take a couple free throws. Bailey had that electrifying lob to Jason Hubbard last Friday for the alley-oop jam. That was fun. And so Bailey would go to the line for 2, who is no slouch in the vertical leaping department. First one from Bailey, too strong off the back rim. Bailey, one of the more fun guys to watch during pregame warmups. He will routinely jam the ball after putting the ball behind his head with 2 hands. He misses both. Too strong on both off the back heel. And rebounded by Chandler of East-West. Transition 3, Grace. Nope, short. And Owen has the rebound. He can dribble out the last few seconds here. Shot clock turned off with 20 seconds left. Taylor will win going away tonight by a final of 91-62. Pena will just dribble it away. The Trojans will improve to 7-8 on the year, 5-3 here on the home floor. The women's basketball team to our left, which defeated Concordia yesterday, gives them a standing ovation to our left. Hester covers. He'll float it up to Newbert, and the time will expire. So Taylor picks up their 7th win of the year, their 5th one here on the home floor, as they defeat East West tonight by a final of 91-62. We're back with the Ivanhoe's postgame show after this here on the Trojan Sports Network.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
The decision you're making is about so much more than where you'll spend the next 4 years. It's about how you'll live the next 40. So let me break down the Taylor University experience. We integrate faith and learning to become well-rounded, lifelong learners, while delivering a deeper knowledge of our specific areas of study. Whether you're producing award-winning films, building satellites for NASA, or preparing for a national ethics debate, Taylor will push you to excel in your field. But excellence isn't always about having the right answers. Sometimes it's about asking the right questions. Taylor is interdenominational. That means we can't always fall back on specific church doctrine to settle issues. We rely on scripture and the dynamic nature of iron sharpening iron to better know the God who's not afraid of our question. Much of this happens in the small town of Upland, Indiana, the place where Taylor does life together. But don't let this small town fool you. The schedule is packed with things to do, and through these activities, faculty, staff, and students become more than individuals occupying the same address. They become a community. But this community isn't limited to the campus. We travel, boy do we travel. We are ranked as one of the top 10 schools in the country for overseas experiences. But it isn't just about the going. It's about the sharing of those experiences and being challenged by those who come to Upland as their international experience. Taylor is one of a few Christian colleges that expects all students to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. Now, this doesn't mean Taylor is a Christian Disneyland, full of cardboard cutout perfection. Taylor is full of real people with real problems, and living together can get kind of messy. But in that mess, we take Jesus' call from John 13 seriously. We practice picking up our towel and dealing with the mess in each other's lives. We're not here just to follow the rules for 4 years. Instead, we hope to learn to live authentic lives, calling each other to lives of meaning. Every day, our focus remains on the 40, not just the 4. We'd love to show you more about Taylor. Come visit, sit in on a class, go to chapel, spend a night in a residence hall. Experience the difference for yourself.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Greek's Pizzeria in Upland opened its doors in December of 2017. Over the years, there have been more than 140 Greeks opened across the country, with 24 Indiana locations. When it comes to pizza, Greeks offers customers the option to create their own pizza or to try one of Greek's specialized pizzas. Greeks uses fresh, homemade, hand-tossed dough, Greek's Italian sauce, select blended cheeses, gourmet toppings, and the same method of preparation since the first restaurant opened in 1969. The kitchen can also whip up a sandwich served on fresh French-style bread, or it can put that sandwich into a pizza shell wrap. Customers can also add breadsticks or French-style bread as a side item. Greeks also offers a selection of salads and assorted dressings as well. Greeks is located just off Main Street in Upland and is a proud supporter of Taylor University Athletics. Greek's Pizzeria. It's our taste.
Back here inside Odell Arena, this is the Ivanhoe's post-game show. And tonight, Taylor, big winners. They defeat East West by a final of 91-62. The Trojans had a lead as big as 30. That came with 90 seconds left in that second half. There were no ties. There were no lead changes. And the Trojans had 4 in double figures tonight, led by Mason Degenkolb's 22. He was 9 of 14 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3. He also had 4 assists and 2 rebounds. Vincent Miranda tied a season high with 17 points off the Taylor bench. Jake Hagelin had 13 points on 4 of 7 shooting, and Evan Crow chipped in 10 points. Jason Hubbard had 7 points, James McLeod 3. Ryan Robinson, who struggled to shoot the ball all night, he had 8 points. Bailey Hester, no points in 2 minutes of action. Keegan Owen had 3. CJ Pena had 8. Luke Huffer and Cade Newbert played but did not score. We'll take a quick break, come back, and we'll hear from the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews, right after this.
Your heart, well, your heart is everything to you and your body, and its favorite place to be is home. Marion General Hospital has been named a nationally accredited chest pain center, which is the highest accomplishment in cardiovascular care. We are proud to provide our community with a team of cardiac experts throughout MGH. From our ambulance and emergency room to our cardiovascular departments in partnership with our experienced local cardiologists and interventional cardiologists from St. Vincent's Medical Group. The same level of cardiovascular expertise in bigger cities at larger hospitals is available right here. Everyone has their expertise. At MGH, our expertise is your heart, bringing the best in the nation home to you. Your heart is in the right place at MGH.
Welcome back here inside Odell Arena. Rick Johnston now joined by the head coach of the Trojans, Josh Andrews. Not the prettiest game from a pretty or ugly standpoint. A lot of turnovers, but you guys win. You guys improved to now one game below 500. Just kind of tell us about tonight's performance for the guys.
Yeah, we were just a little sloppy and careless with the ball. I think some of their scheming probably helped encourage that, but I didn't think we competed really well tonight. We wanted to see more of that. So, hey, frustrated. We can make a lot of excuses. We need to get back in the gym and get better. And hey, good to come out here with a win and keep moving forward.
4 in double figures. Vincent Miranda ties a season high with 17 off the bench. He's been a real nice bright spot off the bench for you guys the last couple weeks. How do you try to make this into maybe a consistent type of thing? Maybe not 17 tonight, but how can you get him to provide that nice little burst off the bench?
Yeah, no, he made some great moves late to kind of put the game away and do some of the right things. We just we just got to find a consistency in how we play and a brand for how we play. It was great to shoot it in last Friday. When this team's had some success, I don't know if we always handle it the way I'd like for them to. We just need to keep getting better. We'd like to take care of the basketball better. I was proud of Vince for some of the big plays he made, down the stretch, helped put the game away.
A rare single-digit scoring performance for Ryan Robinson tonight. How do you think he affected the game in different ways?
He had some great assists and did some little things. Just wasn't his best performance, and he'll keep working at it. And we just got to keep growing. And it's a team deal, and I love our guys. We want to be playing our best basketball coming up here soon. So we got to keep taking analysis here and inventory of what's happening and apply it and get better. And we'll do it. Ryan will do it. We'll be fine.
Congrats on the win. We'll talk to you before Friday.
Okay, thanks, Rick.
That's Josh Andrews. We're back after this.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
One final time here inside Odell Arena. Taylor wins tonight by a final of 91-62. They led 44-28 at the half. They outscored East West 47-34 after the break. Player of the game will give it to Mason Degenkolb, 22 points on 9 of 14 shooting. Also a good night, as you mentioned, from Vincent Miranda. Tied a season high with 17 points. He also had 4 assists and 7 rebounds. He has been rebounding the ball very, very well here in the last few weeks, and we'll see if he can keep it going when the Trojans return to action on Friday when they take on Kentucky Christian. That's a 7 o'clock tip. That'll be the last game of the calendar year 2018 for the Taylor men's basketball team. Their next game after that will be on January 2nd. Special thanks to our producer tonight, Ethan McGarvey, and special thanks to our camera operator, Zach Newcomer. As always, the executive producer of the Trojan Sports Network is Cameron Andry. With the win tonight, Taylor improves to 7-8 on the year. They're now 5-3 here on the home floor. And they'll try to wrap up 2018 with a win on Friday against Kentucky Christian. Once again, our final score tonight here inside Odell Arena is Taylor 91 and East West 62 here on the Trojan Sports Network.